Today's Bible verses come from Matthew chapter 6, verses 19, 20, and 21. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where the thieves break through and steal. Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Hello, welcome to Andrew's Corner. I am your host, Andrew Patch. In this episode, we will be talking about finances. So I would like to give you the dictionary definition of a couple of the terms that we'll be talking about in this video. The first is finances. What is it? Well, according to dictionary.com, finances are the monetary resources as of a government, company, organization, or individual, and its revenue. The other word that we would like to get the definition is budget. So according to dictionary.com, a budget is an estimate, often itemized, of expected income and expense for a given period in the future. So we will be talking about both of those things in the video. So let's get into it. What is finances? Earlier on in the video, I showed Bible verse, and we'll be using some of that. But every one of my videos, I want to show some kind of scripture to tie it in, because I feel like God's telling me to share His word. Finances, to me, are a lot of headache. Up until, I don't know, probably this year, I haven't really done a budget. I haven't really cared about finances too much. But I got married, and when you get married, things change. Me and my wife sit down and we work on it together. It's mainly something that you're going to have to do minimum once a month. Your first budget, you're probably going to have to do 100 different things the first month. But you want to keeping track of your finances are important for probably too many reasons for me to mention. And I'm not an expert on finances. I'm not. But we did a budget, and we figured up based on my income. And she has a little bit of income. She does some papers, and she does a little bit. We're lucky enough that she don't have to work. But we figured up on my regular 40 hours is what we did the budget on. We didn't use any of my overtime. And when you do a budget, you need to focus on your fixed income, because if your income goes up and down, that's going to mess up your budget. The way that we do it is we sit there and we figure what my 40-hour paycheck is. Her papers are fixed income, so whatever her papers are, that don't change. So we figure out how much money is in with all those. Then we'll sit there and we'll go through, itemized line by line, what our expenses are. We have rent, gym membership, gas for the car, anything that you pay for, you put down, just simple. But you have to stick to it. You have to be committed to doing a budget and following through with that budget. The other thing that we do is we'll take the cash right out of the bank and we'll put it in an envelope. So like we have a gas budget for the gas in our car. So we'll take that amount of money that we set aside. I believe it's $25 a week. And we take it and we put it in cash money in an envelope. And we don't spend any more than what's in that envelope. And it don't matter what we're doing, we stick to that budget. We don't take from it for something else. We don't move it around. We use it for what it's meant to be. And that goes with anything that you set aside. Rent payments, electric payments, cable payments, anything that you have in your budget that you set aside like that, you gotta be disciplined to actually keep it in the budget. So anyhow, that's how we do it. I mean, we look at it as, if we don't prepare for the future. I mean, this week our car brakes went out, and it turned out to be like 200 and some dollars. But we had an emergency fund thanks to our budget, because that's the other thing. We set aside $1,000 just for our emergency fund. Eventually, we want to get 3 to 6 months of our income, but for right now, we have $1,000, and we were able to set that aside. And when our car needed brakes, we had the $281. Now, the other thing is, we also set aside a car repair fund and put so much away in that. So a lot of that money didn't come all from the emergency fund. It also came from the car repair fund too. So having it budgeted and knowing where your money's going and how you spend it, that will help you get organized and help you with, financial issues, help you not have so much trouble with finances, I hope. Um, and I'm probably rambling, but it breaks down to three basic things. One, things are going to happen. You can't control bad things from happening. It's going to happen. So if you create a budget and you create an emergency fund, that will help prepare you for the bad stuff. The other thing is, if you don't know where your money's going, then how do you know that you have enough? How can you sit there and say, "Oh, I'm good," when you have no idea where your money's going in the first place? So that opened my eyes on how it was going and where it was going. And the third thing you need is willpower, because you're gonna see something that isn't in your budget. Like, you're gonna go to Walmart and you're gonna see a movie you want. You don't need that movie. You want that movie. But if it's not in your budget, if you haven't budgeted for that item, you can't get it. And that's the hardest part for me, because I sit there and I see $1,000 in my emergency fund, and I just want to go buy. Oh, I can buy that. I have $1,000. No, you don't. That is for emergencies, and that's been hard for me to do. But if you set it aside and you do it, it will help you. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Hope it wasn't too rambling. But thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.